guys, how are you? This is Loise. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you're well and safe wherever you are. Today I want to talk about refugee claimants in Canada, and rather I want to answer a question: can you lose your refugee protection once you're a protected person in Canada? Who is a protected person in Canada in the first place? A protected person is someone who came to Canada and sought asylum based on persecution in their own country. So they were able to satisfy IRB that they have a well-founded fear and that Canada should offer them protection. So that is a protected person here. So those people, once they become protected, they are able to apply for permanent residence, and after some years they are also able to apply for Canadian citizenship. But between the time they are accepted and the time they apply for their citizen, not even apply, by the time they become Canadian citizens, they can lose their refugee protection. How is that? It's not common, but it happens a lot. And therefore, today's video, I want to talk about that and how to avoid that. Because what I have seen is a lot of people come here, they seek asylum. Once they seek asylum, they are not fully educated. They don't know the obligations and the sacrifices that come with seeking asylum, because it comes with a lot of sacrifices. There's a lot of things that you can't do once you're a protected person, okay, or a refugee claimant, okay? So anyway, if you're new here, you are welcome. If you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe. Yes, why should you subscribe? I have made lots of videos on immigration programs, life in Canada, and other educational videos like this one that you might find useful. So please subscribe just so that you're not missing out on all this good information. Some statistics there that I want to give is that a lot of people now have been seeking asylum in Canada, and we've seen that number rise steadily. Actually, that number tripled between 2016 and 2019. So in 2016, the statistics say that 23,000 people sought asylum in Canada. In 2018, there was 55,000 people who sought asylum in Canada. And 2019, last year, the year that we miss a lot right now, 64,000 people sought asylum in Canada. I know the number is going to go down this year for obvious reasons, but I think that once things go back to normal and people can travel, we can have visitors and people coming in as usual, that number will go up. Okay? All right. So, how do you lose your refugee status? Or even, what is the process? How do you get to lose it? This is how it begins. So you come here, you're excited, you arrive in Canada, you seek asylum for whatever reason. Canada is gracious enough, offers you that protection. Once you become a protected person, you're eligible to apply for PR. And now once you're waiting, when you're in that waiting period, you get that letter that says, from immigration, that says that your refugee protection will be ceased. What could have happened? What did you do to warrant that? Yeah? And what is cessation? Cessation is when you cease to be a refugee. It means that you cease to be a protected person in Canada. Yes, it does happen. You can cease. It doesn't matter whether you're already a permanent resident. The fact that you're a permanent resident, based on the foundation of your refugee claim, then once that refugee protection is taken away, then your PR gets to be taken away as well. Yes, so you can lose your PR once you lose your refugee protection. It doesn't matter whether you are already a permanent resident. Okay? So ceased refugees, the moment you become a ceased refugee, you also become inadmissible. And being inadmissible means you're already in Canada. Once now you're declared inadmissible, you should leave the country. Yes, you should leave the country. So ceased refugees, once you become a ceased refugee, just know that you cannot make a new refugee claim. Never. You are not allowed to do that. You're also not allowed to do so many other things. You're not able to immigrate even through other programs. But we are not going to talk about that. We want to see what causes people to be seized. The main thing that causes people to be seized is something called re-availment. When you re-avail yourself to your country of origin, the same country that you sought asylum from. So remember, when you came here, assuming you came from Kenya and you sought asylum in Canada, what you said is that Kenya or your country, was not able to offer you protection. Okay? And that is why you are coming to Canada, so that they can give you that protection. Okay, so now when you re-avail yourself back to Kenya, it means then you're now seeking protection from Kenya. You are entrusting Kenya or your country to offer you that same protection they could not give you in the beginning. And now that you no longer need that help, then you're stripped of your refugee status here, or even your permanent resident status here. So what that means is that when you re-avail, what you're trying to say, there's an assumption that now you can depend on your country, on your home country, to offer you protection. Okay? So which are the behaviors, which are the actions that you can take that will be counted as re-availment? One, and I see this happening a lot, is when you renew your passport from your home country. Yes, that is grave. So what should you do? If you know that you're coming to Canada to seek asylum, always make sure that your passport has the longest validity ever. So if your country offers like those 10-year valid, 10-year passports, take that. What that does, it gives you those 10 years to go through the refugee system here, go through the hearing, apply for PR, and hopefully become a citizen before your passport from your home country expires. So at no time will you need to renew that passport, because when you renew that passport, you're saying that now you trust your country to offer you that diplomatic protection. Okay, so do not renew your passport when you are a refugee claimant at all. Okay, the other thing, which is very common and very dangerous, is using that passport from your home country to travel to another country. You come here to Canada and you find that people go on vacations all the time, and you're tempted to go on vacation, maybe to go to Mexico or go to Cuba or go wherever, Bahamas. People like to go on vacations. If you're a refugee or if you're a protected person, make sure you're not using your home country to travel abroad. Okay? You cannot do that. So how do you do that? Does it mean that refugee claimants should never travel? No, it doesn't mean that. Refugee claimants travel all the time. But make sure you're not using your country's passport to travel. And of course, you don't have a Canadian passport to travel yet because you're not a Canadian citizen. So what you need to do is apply for travel documents. A travel document is almost something similar to a Canadian passport, but it's not a Canadian passport, but it gives you all the rights to travel except to your country. So you cannot use that travel document to go to your country, but you can use it to go to any other country in the world. At times you may not even need a visa. Okay, so make sure that you apply for a travel document if you need to travel outside Canada. If you make a mistake and travel on your country's passport, then that is re-availment, and that can lead to you losing your refugee status. Okay. Number 3, this is the most grave one, I think, entering your country, like going back to your country. Yes, and I said, refugee claimants have to go through some sacrifices. And this is one of the sacrifices. You need to be well informed before you come here that you can't go back to your country. Okay? So when you go back to your country, you see, you've re-availed yourself. You've gone back to the same harm that you ran away from. So if you go to your country and you come back, you're going to be at the airport. When you come back, you will be received by immigration officials there, and you'll be taken to secondary to offer a big explanation, and I can tell you most of the time you are going to lose that refugee status. The same thing if you use your passport, your country's passport to travel. You come back, you will be received not in the best way by immigration officers at the airport, and you may end up losing your passport. I mean your refugee protection. Okay? Most people think that, a passport is just a document, that lets you travel. No, the fact that you've requested or you're using your country's passport, that now is a declaration that you trust your country to protect you even during your travels. That's why when you're here in Canada, you can only travel under Canada's protection. That's why you need that travel document, because once you have that travel document, you are under Canada's protection. In case of anything abroad, then you are in Canada's hands and you're going to be brought back to Canada because you belong to Canada. So I know some people could be asking, so does it mean I'll never see my family simply because I sought asylum in Canada? No, it doesn't mean that. Refugee claimants, as long as you have that travel document, you can always meet your family somewhere near close your country. As long as you don't enter your country, you can always plan to meet with your family for vacations halfway. People meet in Dubai, people meet in other neighboring countries whereby you can enter without, So a lot of, maybe if you come from Africa, you can always meet your family in a neighboring country without having to enter your country. So that is usually one of the ways that, because you're not sentenced. You're not going to be sentenced to a life here without travel or without even having to meet your family. You can always meet your family. You don't have to be separated from your family simply because you claimed asylum. You can always look for a way for you and your family to meet, and then you can come back to Canada. And hopefully, if maybe you've applied for permanent residence, you will have applied to sponsor them. So their application is still in process, and that way soon, and maybe hopefully very soon, you're able to reunite with your family here in Canada. Okay? All right. So that's what I wanted to talk to you about. Make sure you're not losing that refugee protection because you've worked so hard. It's not easy to get that refugee protection. So once you get it, please protect it until you're able to become a Canadian citizen. Okay? So thank you so much again. If you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe. Until next time, take care. Bye.